Welcome back, folks, to Smart and Crazy. This week has been a wild ride, and let me tell you, you are not ready for this. We're talking about Diddy, shipping port strikes, a potential war in the Middle East, and the Daily Mail taking over TikTok. Yes, you read that right. So buckle up, grab your favorite beverage, and get ready to have your mind blown.
Hold on, Sarah. Let's start with Diddy because, well, this story just keeps getting weirder. We're talking about a massive legal case here, and it sounds like it's only scratching the surface.
Absolutely. Imagine 120 victims coming forward alleging assault by Diddy, 60 men, 60 women, and 25 of them claiming to be minors at the time, the youngest allegedly being just 9 years old. That's absolutely terrifying.
Terrifying, yes, but I can't shake this feeling that this is about more than just Diddy. It feels like a publicity stunt. We're talking about a law firm that's already been involved in high profile cases like the BP oil spill in Astroworld. They're known for generating headlines, and this case is definitely doing that.
That's a fair point, John. There's definitely a bit of a if you build it, they will come element to it. But we can't ignore the potential severity of these allegations. We're talking about vulnerable individuals, some of them minors, allegedly manipulated by a powerful figure in the music industry.
Yeah, and then there's the whole hidden camera aspect. Diddy allegedly using recordings to silence his victims. That's straight out of the Jeffrey Epstein playbook. And it makes me wonder how much deeper this rabbit hole goes. We're talking about a network of powerful individuals, possibly including other celebrities who are involved in this.
Exactly. And the fact that the lawyer is talking about exposing these other names is chilling. He's already hinting at big names, saying they'll shock you. I mean, imagine the public reaction when these names are released. It's going to be a firestorm.
I'm with you on that. But honestly, Sarah, I'm already seeing conspiracy theories forming online. People are already making connections to other scandals, suggesting that this is all just a distraction. And who knows, maybe there's some truth to that. After all, the only reason Diddy's even facing charges is because of a civil lawsuit, not because of criminal investigations.
That's a really good point, John. This whole situation highlights the importance of civil lawsuits in holding powerful individuals accountable. Sometimes the law enforcement system just doesn't move fast enough, and that's where civil cases can make a real difference.
Sarah, this whole thing makes me think about the power dynamics in the music industry. We've seen this before with other artists who have abused their power. There's often a culture of silence, fear, and manipulation. And it takes a lot of courage for victims to come forward.
It does. And it's incredibly brave of these individuals to speak out, even though they know they're facing a formidable opponent. This whole thing reminds me of the hashtag Me Too movement. It takes time, but the tide is turning, and more people are speaking out against abuse of power, no matter how powerful the perpetrator is.
Well, I think this is just the beginning. We're going to be hearing a lot more about this case in the coming weeks. And honestly, Sarah, I think it's only a matter of time before we see even bigger names dragged into the spotlight.
Absolutely. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's a big story, John, and it's going to be one to watch. But let's shift gears for a bit and talk about something else that's causing quite a stir.
Yeah, this is big. We're talking about the backbone of the American economy potentially grinding to a halt. 45,000 port workers are on strike, and the impact could be felt across the country.
It's insane, John. We're talking about a strike that could cost the US economy billions of dollars per day. And you're right, the impact would be felt everywhere. From food shortages to delays in construction projects, this strike could have major ripple effects.
It's not just about the money, though. The workers are also fighting for their future. They're worried about automation taking their jobs. It's a classic David and Goliath scenario with workers facing off against powerful shipping companies that want to maximize profits by replacing human workers with machines.
I get where the workers are coming from. No one wants to be replaced by a robot, but I also see the benefits of automation. It can increase efficiency, reduce costs, and even improve safety.
Sure, automation can be beneficial, but it has to be done ethically. We can't just let big corporations decide who gets to keep their jobs and who gets replaced by machines. We need to think about the long term impact on society and create a system that protects workers and ensures a fair transition.
You're absolutely right, John. This is a crucial issue. And it's not just about port workers. We're facing a global automation revolution, and we need to find a way to navigate this transition without leaving people behind.
Exactly. This is a bigger conversation than just the port worker strike. It's about the future of work itself. How are we going to adapt to a world where automation is replacing human jobs at an increasingly rapid pace?
Well, it's certainly a question that's on everyone's mind. We need to find ways to reskill workers, provide retraining opportunities, and create new jobs that will be in demand in the future.
And we need to think about social safety nets and universal basic income. We can't just leave people stranded without a safety net. We need to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to participate in the economy, no matter what the future holds.
I think we're on the same page here, John. This is a complex issue with no easy answers, but we need to start having these conversations now before it's too late. And maybe, just maybe, we can find solutions that benefit both workers and technology.
Okay, I'm ready for a little break from this heavy stuff. Let's shift gears to something lighter, and by lighter, I mean incredibly absurd, but somehow still fascinating.
That's a wild one. John, I can't believe Biz and Beast are actually worried about it. I mean, come on, Ronaldo is basically a global icon. He's got millions of fans, and it makes sense that he'd be a big draw on YouTube.
Well, they're not exactly taking it sitting down. They're acting like their YouTube throne is under attack. They're talking about hitting up Messi for a collab. They're not exactly taking it like mature adults.
They're just trying to generate hype, John. It's a classic case of internet drama. It's all about attention, and the more noise they make, the more people are going to talk about them.
I get it, but it's just so ridiculous, Sarah. It's like they're obsessed with numbers. It's not about creating great content or connecting with their audience. It's all about the subscriber count.
You're right. There's definitely a culture of bigger is better in the online world, and it can be a bit toxic at times.
Absolutely. We need to be careful about what we celebrate online. It's not just about numbers, it's about quality, creativity, and genuine connection.
I'm glad you brought that up, John. It's time to move on to the next story, which involves the internet, the media, and a whole lot of intrigue.
Okay, let's talk about the Daily Mail. This is a weird one. They suddenly exploded on TikTok. It's like they've become the new king of social media, but it all feels a bit fishy, doesn't it?
Totally fishy. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a scientist and I'm naturally suspicious. The Daily Mail has always been a bit of a wild card. They're known for sensationalized headlines, clickbait articles, and just general mischief.
They are the epitome of legacy media trying to adapt to the digital world. And they seem to have figured out the algorithm pretty well. They're getting millions of views on their TikTok videos.
And it's not just the views, John. They've gained a huge following, hundreds of thousands of new followers in just a few days. It's an astonishing rise to prominence.
Exactly. And the whole thing feels manipulative. They're playing the algorithm, creating content that's designed to go viral, and they're using AI to do it.
Oh, yeah. There's this whole Kim Jong-un is running their TikTok account theory. They're suggesting that the Daily Mail is using a sophisticated AI program to create content that's tailored to the platform's algorithm.
And it's not just AI, Sarah. There's a potential connection to China. You know, the Daily Mail's best friend, the one who's always got their back, the one who owns TikTok.
Okay, let's not get too conspiratorial here, John. While there's definitely evidence to suggest that they're manipulating the system, it's a bit of a stretch to say that Kim Jong-un is behind it all.
Okay, maybe not Kim Jong un, but there's definitely something fishy going on, Sarah, and it makes me wonder.
It's interesting you ask that, John. I think it goes back to the changing landscape of media. Traditional media outlets like the Daily Mail are struggling to keep up with the digital revolution. They're looking for ways to regain their relevance, and they're seeing TikTok as a potential platform for reclaiming their audience.
I can see that. They're trying to reach a younger audience, one that's more used to consuming information on short form video platforms.
But it's all about the power, John. The Daily Mail is not just trying to reclaim its audience, they're trying to reclaim their influence. They're trying to be the gatekeepers of information once again.
And they're using manipulation and propaganda to do it. They're creating content that's designed to appeal to the basest instincts of their audience. They're exploiting fear, anger, and prejudice to gain followers.
It's a dangerous game they're playing, John. They're using the same tactics that dictators have used for centuries to control their populations. They're exploiting people's emotions to spread their message.
We're in a new information war, Sarah. And the Daily Mail is on the front lines. They're using every weapon at their disposal.
This is a fight for the future of democracy, John. We need to be vigilant. We need to be critical of the information we consume, and we need to hold those who spread misinformation accountable.
You know, Sarah, you're right. It's easy to get caught up in the online world, to be bombarded with information and not know what to believe. We have to remember that our ability to think critically, to question authority, and to stand up for what's right is more important than ever before.
You're absolutely right, John. We have to be active participants in the information age, not just passive consumers. We have to be critical thinkers, we have to be skeptics, and we have to be courageous.
Well said, Sarah. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, but it's just a small glimpse into the madness of the world right now. We're living through a time of immense change, and the future is uncertain.
Exactly. But we have to keep our eyes open, John. We have to keep asking questions and we have to keep fighting for what we believe in because the world is a crazy place, but it's also a beautiful place and we have the power to make it better.
Let's not forget to keep things lighthearted, Sarah. There's still time for laughter and good times after all. Even in the darkest of times, we need a little humor to get us through.
You're absolutely right, John. So until next time, folks, stay curious, stay informed, and stay strong. And most importantly, keep your eyes peeled for the next big story.
We'll catch you next time, folks on Smart and Crazy.